I see a black screen on Twitch, but maybe that's me. Do you see anything? What's going on? Got a bunch of people looking at me already being an asshole. The whole world. They're all gonna laugh at you. Why am I not? Why can't I get it? Well, yeah, now I can see, like, my thumbnail is me standing here like an idiot. Well, yeah, now I can see, like, okay. My thumbnail is me standing here like an idiot. And now echoing. Okay, meow, 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 double meow. Who's ready to meow? Ha! Okay. We are gonna do something a little bit different. A little funky. I'm not going to do the super messy up front idea. I'm going to save that for another piece. Because I ended up with a bit of an epiphany of what I wanted to do here. Might actually be a little bit cleaner at the beginning. Oh shit, I don't have any in my... God damn, I knew I forgot something. I don't have any of my prompters up. Fucking professional here, man. I don't know. It's all your fault. It's all your fault. That is exactly right. Okay. There you go. Yes. Nahungus is here. Hello, Nahungus. Yes, I'm going to do a pit fighter. Yep. Yep. And? Chat highlights. Show mod icons, operations. I don't know. I'll find it later. We're burning daylight. Yeah, I'll find it later. God damn it, everything's agitating me, I'll tell you that much. Okay. Yeah, now. Well, if anybody was listening, they're bored of me already, because I'm sitting here diddling my fucking settings. It's true. Occasionally been caught too. Yes, I did see Nahungus. Yes, we're going to do something a little funky. And by funky, meaning not really funky at all, kind of Reminiscent of the maturity of my professional life. The Tiger would be a good one. If we ever had our actual group, our community squeezle room up. Hey, my time alive is in the house. Good evening. Yeah, I was trying to watch you earlier, dude. I mean, I was watching you earlier. I was in the middle of, taking kids to soccer practice and shit, so I couldn't interact too much. But yeah, I was watching you play. Gonna get a little bit of anatomy this time. Music I'm listening to sucks. Yeah, maybe. Space Marines. What's that? For fuck's sake. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what it looks like in the beginning, man. Just squeezels and scribbles. Okay. Yeah, we put your Gorgon up on the site, on the website, dude. We got that up today. I got some good stills of it, very good still of it, and tightened it up. So it's up there if you want a poster. And then we made a discount code for you guys, because you guys are awesome and are supporting. So the discount code is Twitch25, and that's 25% off. I think that's everything in the store. Yeah, Twitch25. Yeah, like I said, I am really happy with the print quality that's coming out of this. So, I mean, it's like, it definitely comes off as more like an art print. It's pretty sweet. And we're gonna have the huge party we had last night. Okay. Cool. Yeah, this is going to end up being a little bit like, I'm already kind of jumping into the Halloween theme. This is going to be a little like an anthropomorphic pit fighter with a little twist of a American Werewolf in London kind of feel on this guy. Or at least that's the intention. We'll see what fucking happens. Red puffer jacket and a backpack. Yes, exactly. That's exactly what I was going for. Hot chick with a bow. You're upset. I did spend some time diddling hot chicks today. Meow. And thinking about it, for sure. Yeah, no, I've got a bunch of, I basically did a bunch of comps of ideas for Diana today, so I might come back to that. Honest Gamer, hey. How you doing, man? Watching Rocky, the first one? Rocky 1? That's some shit right there, man. Who needs a phone? I'll call Paula right now. What no yells at? That is an awesome scene. Especially now in this day and age, like, it just seems surreal. Yeah, originals are on there, man. Yeah. We have the originals on the website. I don't think we have the original of the Medusa on there yet, but we will. We can put that up there. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely, man. Oh, you want the original? Yeah, or you want to whisper me? Yeah, just whisper me about whatever, man. Yeah. All good. Right. Nice. Drink every time it says mega. Nice. That is a lot of booze. Thank you, sir. Dude, I totally appreciate your enthusiasm. Actually, I appreciate the suggestion. That was a fun piece. I did not take anybody's. Yeah, appreciation all around, man. I did not take anybody's suggestion for tonight's piece. I kind of went with my own thing, but in the future, I definitely want to hear people's ideas. Just kind of got like at the last minute, I got a burr up my ass to go this direction. Have I done a superhero? Yeah, I mean, early on, I thought that's what my career was going to be. When I was in New York, I got my first internship when I was in art school at the old Marvel Comics, and worked on what was it, What If, and Power Rangers, and going that route, showing them my work, all of that. It's just bad timing. I went to the editor I was working for at the end of the summer, and I'm like, hey man, what do you think? He's like, yeah, I like your work. You're ready for a career in comics. He said, unfortunately, I don't have a job because this is right when Marvel was going bankrupt back in the day, the 90s. So that's really why I ended up going back and studying computer graphics. But yeah, I'm not afraid of superhero. I think my professional inspiration is like You know, the Rob Bottin, if you know who that is. Stan Winston, of course. You know, Phil Tippett. He was the goddamn Mac Daddy. Yeah, man. Dude, I totally enjoyed that whole process. We'll do it again. I will get back to your whisper after we do this. Lost in consciousness here. Oh yeah, the blue. Which blue to use? Yeah. Did you end up grading between the turquoise and the ultramarine, or where'd you go with that? Turquoise, yeah, on the white. Yeah, the point I was just getting at was that I think that at least the reference you sent me, as it went darker, which is often the case, just pay attention to your hue shifts. I don't feel like the turquoise went all the way from light to dark. I feel like it hue shifted from the turquoise to more of a blue as it moved through the luminance. Shit, I gotta put my booze down. Being encumbered. Yeah, I mean, basically, that's basically what I did on the. If you were looking at the Medusa closely, I did the same thing. So I had two light sources. I had the hot light, which was really like a titanium white equivalent, gradiating into a hot neon orange. And then by the time it hit the skin, I went into a warm peach. And then on the cool side, I went from, again, like a titanium white into a turquoise. And then in my deeper shadows, I went into the, whatever the fuck this blue is. I brought it into my shadows. And they're calling it, the phthalo blue. Yeah. So basically the same thing I was doing. Like, here's actually a really good, you can really see it in this piece. Hopefully I can show it for all 3 seconds without Twitch fucking killing my ass. This is an unfinished piece, but if you look at the sky, you see how it gets lighter, it goes into turquoise, and then as it goes darker, it goes into blue, right? And then with the skin tones, which are still totally in work, it's more like an underpainting, but I'm, headed towards that direction of the burnt umber and the shadow, with the highlights being in the orange and the peach. And I think I'm gonna experiment with this piece after I get the whole lights darks things worked out on this piece. I think I'm gonna actually do most of my work in black and white, and then come in and try Golden's open acrylics, which are like like a acrylic or a water-based glazing paint, and see where that goes. I think that'll be cool. Yeah, it's definitely got a perilous booze situation here. Right. How do we feel about our composition right now? Yeah, what's your subject for your next one, dude? So I have a question for anybody and everyone who's listening. So one of the things I did while I lived in New York was I got the chance to dissect at Columbia Medical School. And I spent several years cutting people apart to learn anatomy for basically doing this shit. And I'm sitting here, I was on YouTube today, I'm watching these guys do all these anatomy videos, and I'm like, yeah, they're doing a good job, but I feel like maybe an interactive session like we have here on Twitch, like where we could actually, like, I could get into it and we could talk about it at the same time, you know? Might be cool. Is that something that would be of interest to anybody, like, to do that? Maybe pick like a subject per night, like we're gonna focus on, you know, pelvic girdle, whatever. Batman is always fun for painting. Let's see, what did you leak? Hopefully this is not a dirty picture, it's gonna send me straight to hell. Oh, Batman, yeah. Axis Chemicals. I mean, we should celebrate The Crow next month. That was my first movie. Oh, yeah? Didn't it say Axis? What did that say? Do a crow paint together. And rain all the time. Yeah? Fire it up. Fire it up. I feel like a little worm on a big fucking hook. Devil's Night greeting cards. That's what I think of every time we start talking about putting merch on the site. Think of that guy going, Devil's Night greeting cards. Oh, you're just saying that particular sign said Axis, but in the movie the chemical was the other. I don't know. I can't follow. Us old people. Our brain matter, our gray matter starts smoothing over. Can't follow conversations. Yeah, that'd be cool, right? I like that idea. I'm gonna put some thought into it, get a little bit of organization and structure, but for the most part, I like like if we did like maybe like once a week, we do like a total free form like anatomy night, and just get after it, man. You guys are into it. You know, because I know we got a lot of people here with some of their own knowledge, so it can be collaborative. It's, you know, this isn't going to be freaking dictum. Me telling you guys this is how it is, because I'm right, because I'm old. You know, none of that shit. It can be like, you know, here's how I remember the shape of the pelvic girdle. It works for me. Maybe it'll work for you. Movie The Rookie, nice. Well, Nahungus is getting all lean over there, so maybe we can get him to do an interactive posing session for us. Of course, now I just see Frankenfurter going, legs. Would the doctor wife share you with us, Nahungus? Jackie Chan. Nice. You funny. Nobody wants to see that. I don't know. The world's a big place, man. A lot of different tastes. You know, I'll share some of my, like, I don't know, they're like pet peeves or just my experience, right? So, like, I'm thinking about, like, you know, little memory associations. And I remember, like, my anatomy teacher, he would shut the fuck up about the attachment of the long head of the tricep, which is what I'm diddling at right here. And he was not wrong, but he was so adamant about origin and insertions that it felt like he was insensitive to the play of light sometimes. You know, like he so desperately wanted everything to conform to, you know, defining. But I mean, that's literally what we did at fucking Columbia Medical School is we literally would cut these things apart, but then we put them back together. So we'd create structures so that when the artists came in, you know, the other art students would come in, they could see, because you can't even, I mean, when you're looking at a cut up piece of meat, like you can't even see these shapes. You're like, what the fuck is that? Because after the body deflates, all the blood pressure's gone. Heart, basically, the body's basically a balloon. Where everything about us is a balloon sitting on a rigid structure, and so all of the shape that we know of it is actually made by the heart. So like, nice. You know, the heart is what makes everything the shape it is, right? And it's just blown up into the balloon shape of you know, its form factor, but it's made, you know, to be what it is by the blood pressure itself. So anyway, like when that blood pressure goes away, aka dead body, it deflates and it no longer has anywhere near the same morphology. So our whole thing was, how do we basically isolate muscle groups so people could, you know, in any way understand what the fuck we were talking about. Yeah, it's gonna be, I don't know. I mean, when I was diddling, I got like a shit ton of like a collage of reference over here I'm looking at. And it's basically everything from dog to wolf to hyena. And I'm not really, do I look like a guy with a plan? Not really jonesing on exactly what it is, you know, giving it a name. What's in a name? But yeah, it's like I said, it's like kind of ending up like what's his nuts? American Werewolf in London. Just the shapes that I'm seeing coming out. It's like, yeah, it's looks like a werewolf humanoid. But the idea is that he's going to be like a pit fighter. So this is a boxing kind of deal. So we're going to get in with some red. We're going to get some gnarly ass reds in this thing eventually. Right after I get some more brown juice. All comes out. I'm drinking some. It's supposed to be really good. Belvini, 14 years. Somebody gave me my birthday, and I'm not loving my experience right now. It's not awesome. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, Jesus Christ, you guys have seen me drink some real piss. But it's not like expensive, worthy of an expensive title. If you don't know anatomy, don't draw it. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I did in college, did a whole research semester on Da Vinci and his anatomy. And it was more Tech a Character King, nice. Yeah, so basically I pointed out mistakes that he made in some of his sketchbooks, which was by no means being critical or trying to be superior. I mean, sweet Jesus, the axis I have versus the axis he had was not even in the same realm. And they were little bitty details like the way the gastrocnemius rotates, right? It spins as it goes into its attachment point in the back of the leg. And he thought those were two separate muscles because they look like it on the surface. So at that point in his life, he obviously hadn't dissected yet. He was going off the surface morphology. But that was a really interesting experience to really just sit there and stare at his work kind of for fucking weeks, honestly, and think about what he was doing and in the context of the time of when he was doing it. It was literally illegal to study cadavers at the time. So he had to get like a whole pardon from the Pope and all kinds of shit. Elevator music, you won't get copyright strike for that. That? Oh, you think we should have elevator music on the show here? The show, I'm going to call it the show. It's a little bit grandiose, doesn't it? On our hangout sessions. I was diddling a bunch of AI stuff, and I got real excited for a minute, and then I realized it was fucking garbage. Yeah, I also feel that anatomists oftentimes get so excited about certain things that they ignore. So like right now, like I haven't gotten very far, but I'm kind of making a suggestion of more skin folds. The skin folds are actually breaking the line of insertion. So the bicep has two heads. One attaches to the humerus, the other one actually goes through and attaches to the coracoid process on the scapula. That's being destroyed here linearly because I'm doing skin folds. So my anatomy teacher would be all up in my pussy about that. Be like, that's not right. Like, seriously, dude? Eat a bag of dicks. Burke and Hare in London stealing corpses for medical research. Is that a documentary? That sounds awesome. Dude, why didn't we think of that? I love my guy, though. Salvatore Montana was his name. That was my anatomy teacher. Everybody loved him. Sweet little old man. Sexist as fuck. And by sexist as fuck, I mean, like, he almost didn't take me as an assistant because there was a pretty girl that showed a slight bit of interest, and he was trying to get her to be his assistant instead of me. I'm like, eat dick. Dark comedy. All right. I'm into that. We're going to have a bunch of faces in the crowd back here eventually. Have some anthropomorphic critters in the background. Screaming, hollering. I was actually thinking about, like, I don't know, diddling in some kind of, like, I don't know, playing with the testosterone. Because this is obviously a heavily testosterone piece. I was thinking about throwing in a, something sexy and female-ish. I don't know. I'm of a mind of, like, it's got to be done right. It's got to be done tasteful. But when it's done tasteful, I love, and basically anything that maximizes testosterone. Trap, LOL, Josh Hewitt. I think he's. What? I watched. Nice. Yes, that's so much better than exciting art is just injecting. Yes. I think you've actually, what the fuck are all of us doing here right now? We should just be injecting because we're going to get that better experience straight from the tap. There's an Aang drawing. I thought it was Aang, and I don't know. And it's like labor or like it's like slave or something. It's just this big kind of fat dude, but he looks like he's got a lot of muscle, and it's just his back. And there's these awesome highlights going down his back. And I was trying to find it the other day, and I cannot find this goddamn thing. And maybe it wasn't Aang. Maybe that's why I can't find it. I don't know. If anybody out there has got any ideas, can remind my fucking geriatric gray matter. What that was. Calling a lifeline, something. Sherlock Holmes Robert. There was some interesting shots there. Of old Mr. Downey Jr. looking svelte. You can always tell who studied Bridgman when you get into the thoracic, because he was so like rigid in his thought process about what that looked like. I don't know about rigid. Maybe that's not the right word. Procedural. It's like, oh, this is what it does exactly. Really, dude? Really? That's what it was like in the 50s. You know what? Here's a bit of anatomy sexism. So, like in Peck, which I love Peck's book, he literally talks about women's pelvises being, I think it was a 5-degree forward tilt, more than men's. And it turns out that's all bullshit. At least as he was referencing it. It's literally because his models were naked and wearing high heels, which makes the pelvis rotate. Dude, seriously. Yeah, heels change the pelvic tilt to be basically it makes women stick their ass out in order to maintain balance. So that's a forward tilt of the. Which I don't know. I mean, maybe he knew that. Maybe because he was just like literally saying it's so common. Women are always wearing high heels. It's 1950 something that we're going to count that as anatomical data. Maybe he wasn't. Oblivious. He knew. It's like, yeah, I know this. I don't know what the fuck. Just like I don't know what fucking Da Vinci was thinking. But whatever it is, that's the posterity. It's that goddamn Audrey Hepburn fucking up everybody's posture. My wife has ridiculous bunions, got massively exacerbated by heels. And like that shit's literally just like the Euro version of foot binding. It's just not nearly as grotesque and terrible, and generally elective. What if women never fought in the early years? I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure what references you're making, but like the Celts, the Picts specifically, my God, that was an interesting crew of people. That's my genetic lineage. So basically, men and women would get buck naked, paint their asses blue, and then they had this weird metal ring they put around their neck, and then they all went to battle together. It's like, yeah, that sounds like the girls in my gym. Those are mean, hardcore females. Yeah, foot binding does not make your butt look good. Obviously, not a whole lot of Nippon booty. Where we're going here? Who's on first? Oh, Debbie. I'm kind of finding myself, I'm fighting between mindsets on purpose. I'm playing games here with myself because, the constructionist, especially when you're drawing out of your head, wants to go inside out and they want to do all the shapes and they want to be like kind of geometric with shit. And the way I've been working as of late and enjoying is not doing that, thinking very surface, intentionally so, to the point of focusing on what's the camera see, what's the luminance, and thinking about what the structure of the piece is more in terms of luminosity and reflectance than, what's the thoracic cage doing, what's the pelvis doing, drawing spheres and all that shit. No, it's just not my jam right now. I'm just like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna live like that. I'm not gonna be that guy. I'm gonna be this guy. And the artists that I've really learned to appreciate over time, I think did the same thing. I don't know what's going on in their head. How the fuck do I know? But I feel like they were doing same kind of thing. Oh, thank you, appreciate it. Where they're focused more on like I call it this is a phrase that I came up with, which is called the active observer. Like keeping in the mindset of I'm an observer of myself doing this and an observer of the piece, and I'm staying in that mindset of looking at the whole all the time, or as I was saying last night, the gestalt, and not sitting there thinking, I'm drawing an arm right now. Because you're not. First of all, you're not. You're scribbling fucking charcoal on a piece of paper. It is not an arm. It is a scribble. But what's the experience inside the mind of the observer is a whole nother question. That's where I get around to the idea of like conversation. Art is a conversation I'm having with others. My computer went to sleep. It's sleepy. It said, dude, I'm done with you. Tired of your dribbling on. But you got to go back and forth. Whatever do you mean? See, I am getting a little crazy here with what the hell's going on with my pectoralis, and my deltoides, and my bicipus. I do need to. You can't be totally like cavalier. You gotta like, all right, what the hell am I doing here? What's my structure? At some point, you gotta switch minds a little bit. Into constructionist. Honest Gamer still here. Just admiring that. Dude, I appreciate that. I appreciate you. We had 4 followers last night. That was exciting. Well on our way to the coveted 50. If anybody wants to recommend a friend. Mr. Active Observer, where are we? How are we right now? Do we like what we're doing? This is gonna end up being this is gonna be a warm up here. This is gonna be my warm side, and this is gonna be my cool side. I'm gonna throw this is gonna be my rim light and my key, rim and key. Another rim over here that'll be like a turquoise, and then a fill of blue underneath. And then we're gonna pop red. I think it'll be fun. Throw some in the smoke. There'll be faces in the crowd, which is actually the name of a Da Vinci piece. 5 faces in the crowd. Yeah, the turquoise. I think the turquoise rim from over here there'll be a smoke, turquoise smoke that'll enhance the red. Red for the blood. Yeah. Yeah, this is going to get into being a pretty gnarly piece. Me stinks. Where's my squeezle stick? That is not my squeezle stick. It's the 1990s. Man needs a squeezle stick. There it is. I'm at the Apollo fight. Oh, nice. The main event. Oh, nice in the movie. Yeah, yeah. Okay. What is happening here? What's going on? Tell me what's going on. Dude, that first Rocky is whole different. Like most people don't even know what that. Don't even know. They're like, I know a Rocky. No, you don't. Very few people have actually seen that first Rocky. That thing is the goddamn bomb. I mean, there's a reason. There's a reason all that shit happened. You know, it wasn't like, oh, happenstance. Yeah, yeah. Well, they're all very different. You know, I gotta say my soft spot is probably Rocky 4, but that doesn't make it a great movie. It just makes it a hell of a lot of fun. Also, you know, nostalgia for my childhood. I don't really know anything about the creeds, and I did see Rocky Balboa. It's okay. It wasn't bad, you know. It wasn't inspiring like the others, but it wasn't bad. Did you ever check out the Medusa Honest Gamer? You like the Creed movies? I'm tired of the crap I'm listening to. Oh, actually, there was that playlist. Where'd that go? In links. Let's see what happens. Fucking Christ. Okay, where are we? It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun piece. Muscles are popping. Pop, pop, pop. You talking about the drawing? You talking about me? What? Thank you. Thank you. Feeding my ego. Appreciate it. Been trying to get in the gym since I came back from Japan. Wolfman Bo. Can't manscape if you're gonna be a wolfman. All right, man. See you in a second. Are you still there, Nahungus? Got gossip. I got gossip to share. So this guy from where I used to work reaches out to me today, and he's wanting me to help give him information. Oh, that sounds like a party. To help him file a lawsuit against the company. It's like, oh man, I don't want to get involved in your shit. But part of me is like, I don't disagree with him. You know, he's like, they kind of raw dealed him. He was a nitwit, but they raw dealed him anyway. And so he's trying to get him for like, I don't know. I don't know if this is like, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be a Japan thing, like specific to the way law is there, or if it's just in general, but like, I mean, he was set up, but he was set up because he sucked. So it's kind of like, yeah, the way they did it was wrong. And he probably has a case, at least in the States he would have a case. But I don't know about Japan. I'd have more of a case, I don't know. Basically, they're doing the Japan firing him, where they're giving him a window seat and waiting for him to fuck up so they can fire him. They're paying him right now. He got massively like demoted and screwed with, stuff like that. So I don't know. I think he's probably getting paid less than he was, and he was basically the same status I was, which, you know, is whatever it is. Yeah. Probably. My advice to him was old Southern adage, which was wrestle with a pig, pig has fun, you get dirty. It's like, man, just gotta move on. But I don't know that I think he's feeling insecure about what he can move on to, so he's kind of, shit's about ego and attachments. Speaking with someone who's got way more experience with the legal system, at least in the U.S., than I would like to. Whole bunch of waste of fucking time. Every second of your life you spend talking to a lawyer is a second you can't get back. I think this particular company is a little more aggressive. I think they're westernized in some bad ways, a little more aggressive. So I think they probably are. I think the vultures are circling. I think they probably will take him out. But he's also like not awesome. Unlike me, who just says one day, "Hey, I think I'm fucking done," and gets on an airplane and leaves, doesn't tell anybody. Like, yep, today's the day. Anybody that knew me, though, knew I was thinking about it pretty much every single day I was there. It's like, this is awesome and all, but today might be the day I go to the fucking airport. Probably hung on fucking at least 3 months longer because of you. It's all your fault, dude. It's all your fault. We get a T-shirt. Blame the Nahungus. I feel like I'm doing justice. You gonna grab some paper to draw on? Did you take that paper out of my place? Didn't I leave a bunch of paper and told you you could take? Undecided about that. Take a step back. Ponder. Let's take a step back and start thinking about our composition. Not of geometry, but our composition of luminance. I kind of got a bunch of shit going on right now, so let's think about where our lights or darks are on this piece before we get any deeper. Nice. Dude, that's my childhood. That's gonna be flashbacks. Fucking, yeah, typing paper, man. That was my life. Stacks and stacks and stacks. Gotta get a roll of this Archer's paper. I assume they don't do the imprint on a roll other than just the once. Like, it's kind of annoying. I end up covering it with so many layers of crap it doesn't show, but like, you can see it down here in the bottom left. There's another one up here. By the roll. Yeah. Yeah, you guys, I mean, yeah. I mean, we've got so much space here, right? Like, Michelle has her space, I got my space, it's no big deal. But you guys are, yeah, you're on top of each other, right? You got a lot of negotiation going on for space. I think, I was just thinking, yeah, cozy place. I just had this, like, I was thinking about that blaming you and my last 6 months there in Japan. Honestly, if I were to come up with a movie that was like the metaphor, I'd say Jacob's Ladder. Jacob's Ladder is the best representation of the last 6 months of my life in Japan. Yeah, that was gnarly, man. Yeah, she didn't think it was a good place. Too expensive or what? Not nice enough? Oh, it's fairly nice by Japan standards, no? Is it not nice enough? Yeah, I mean, but that's the biggest I could find. That's the, well, okay, no, there were limitations. Limitations were I wanted to be on the bus line of both the American International School and the Yokohama International School. And there are only two places where that happens. One is in Dinoshofu, and the other one is in, I have pushed it out of my head, and you probably know what it is. It's in the city central. So it was basically, that's the only thing I could find with 4 bedrooms in Dinoshofu. I couldn't find anything with 4 bedrooms in the. Did she go upstairs? Really? She saw upstairs? All right. Yeah, I mean, when they came out for the summer, I had Michelle crammed in that little room. There was an extra room on the second floor. That's where she did her work, but it was kind of a jail cell, no real windows or anything, so not ideal. Maybe that's why she didn't want to stay. Maybe if I did a better job of finding a house, she would have stayed. I mean, it's not that different actually in footprint to yours. It's like 30% bigger or something, but it's similar footprint to your place. Yeah, no, she compared to where this. Yeah, she of course is gonna love it. It was a non-winner. Yeah, yeah. A lot less people. I mean, all in all, it was in the brilliance of Lisa Simpson. It was just some stuff that happened. You know, I'm not remorsing that I'm not in Japan right now, right? It's just some stuff that happened. Happier doing what I'm doing now, for sure. I mean, I definitely was into the reason I went there. The reason I went there didn't actually exist, though. It is not an innovation company. They're by no means an innovation company. So when I figured that out, it was like, well, it's a matter of fucking time now. You know, I'm not a child anymore. Not wasting this decade being a glorified salaryman. No matter what the title is. Huh. Interesting. I know you are, but what am I? Yeah, I wasn't even gonna gauge. Like, what am I gonna start? You're a bigger baby than I am. Kind of feel like breaking up the rules that I set in the beginning and kind of doing some color study right now. Even though I said I wasn't going to. Before I get any deeper into this, start analyzing my color composition a little bit. I think I will. You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. That sounds like a party. Who doesn't like to party? Do you like to party? No, that's the intention, dude. I'm gonna, well, I don't know about weird green, but yeah, I'm gonna bring turquoise into here. It's gonna pop the red around it when we get there, yeah. There she is. Matriarch chimes in. Still think when we get to a point, I'm gonna hit it with the glaze and see what happens. You're gonna break your one rule. Actually, I think I do need to get if I'm gonna work on these, doing any kind of color studies with these pastels, I think I do need to get probably a phthalo green. I got some, today I acquired some Liquitex Basics acrylic fluid, which is very similar to a acrylic-based ink. It's very thin and opaque. So I'm gonna experiment with that one on this piece too when I get into my hole. Splishy splash thing. I'm gonna try these guys. I think it'll be cool. I don't even have any red. I have no idea. I don't know how it's gonna lay down. What kind of surface it's gonna produce. My favorite tooth so far is actually gouache. When you get near a hole. Yeah. I like the gouache as far as the tooth it leaves for the next round, you know, what's working on top of it. I'm definitely liking that, but we'll try this stuff. Like, it would drive my anatomy teacher berserk that I haven't specifically defined the shapes there that I'm working on. Like, I'm just kind of letting him be squeezels right now, and he would go fucking bonkers on me that I would need to individually defining, like, what each one of those lumps were. I'm like, whatever, man, shut up, they're lumps. Come back and define them later. Vern Hogarth. I was a huge fan of Vern Hogarth before I went to art school, and it turns out he was the anatomy teacher at School of Visual Arts. So same social network. My teacher was Salvatore Montano. He never made a book, so you're not going to know who he is, but he was probably the most respected anatomist in New York because he had this really unique relationship with Columbia Medical School. And that's why I got to go dissect. It's because of him. There's just this weird old, it's just one of those New York relics. It's like, this guy actually exists? Jesus Christ. Like I said, he was weird sexist. Like, he didn't really want me as his assistant. There was a, kind of attractive. She wasn't even that attractive. It was just a girl that was showing a slight amount of interest in anatomy. And he's like, hey, I actually heard him one day, ask her if she wanted to be his assistant. And I'm like, you motherfucker. Because I was the one that was just up his ass every day, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you kidding me right now? But no, she actually is like, yeah, I don't want to do that. So I ended up doing it anyway. Or he was like, he's pretty damn old at the time. This is a long time ago, and he was pretty damn old at the time. I haven't even talked to anybody from art school in forever. I have no idea what's going on. Yeah, when I went to art school, I walked in with my Bern Hogarth book and acting like I knew anatomy. And this guy, he literally looked at my drawings and he just said, "What, did you read Bern's book or what?" He was so annoyed. He's like, "Get the fuck out of here with this." He's like, "No, that's not anatomy. You need to get the fuck out of here." He was having none of that shit. I actually proposed to him I wanted to do an anatomy book with him after school. I wanted to do it 3D. This is right after the Visible Human project came out, which was where they took a criminal and froze him and cut him at 1 millimeter increments. Actually, it was I think it was a male and a female. One of them was 1 millimeter, one was a third of a millimeter increments that they cut him up in, and then they scanned each one, so they basically had voxels. And I wanted to use that. Jesus Christ. Yes, I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. JoJo's definitely has some Bern jism on it. What was I just saying? Oh, yeah. So I proposed to Salvatore after I graduated. I wanted to do an anatomy book with him, and I was going to do it in 3D and 2D. And I was excited. I was like, this is what I'm going to do. And he was just, I don't know, man. He just wasn't into it. So I'm like, okay, fuck it. I'm going to Hollywood. In retrospect, I kind of wish I'd done that. Rather than, I went to LA and, I worked on The Crow. It was cool. Then I worked on Harry Potter and whatever. I don't know. You can't sit around and think about what ifs in life. I think I would have been a couple decades ahead of my time. Now everybody's doing that shit. Wish I had some red. Got no red. I do have this nice burnt umber that I can get jiggy with, though. Bleed for your art. Yes. Suffering is the definition of something. This is, by the way, the guy coming, but I've worked out with you. Yeah. So I don't know that you get to pull that shit with me. Mr. I'm not going to lift that weight that I know I can because I don't want to be uncomfortable later and be sore. Yeah. I think you probably can lift at least 50% more weight than you do. And you're just like, yeah, I'm not going to do it. I don't want to be uncomfortable. Which you kind of blew my mind. I'm like, what do you goddamn mean you don't want to be uncomfortable? I can't, I'm still fathoming. Like, what? What do you mean? You're not going to go as hard as you can. I don't understand. I'm still, it's like you would challenge my life ethos and I'm still processing. I used to be smarter. Used to as in 6 months ago? Or something else? Oh, so now you're saying you're hurting yourself in the gym? You're acting like Bo. That's what you're doing. Maybe I was a negative impact on you. I'm sorry. In that sentence, are you literally referring to me, or is that like first person that you're referring to? I don't think I did that much dumb shit in front of you. I don't think I did some. You, mate. You, motherfucker. Great. Glad I'm that guy. Some weird shit I did with these colors. What the fuck am I doing? We're definitely gonna have to mute this shit down. It will. It'll mute down as I get into it. And I need a couple other colors. Thank you. Thank you for that assessment. I'm making a muddy mess. That's nice. Yeah. Love you. Jackass. This is why I end up doing all the fucking layers of spray and various mediums so I can get where I'm going. It's the underpainting. That's the excuse for anything. It's just the underpainting. Yeah, that'll stick. All right. Yeah, I don't think I'm ready to jizz them just yet. I think I'm actually going to get in there and define some shapes a little bit better. So actually going the other direction. Not everywhere, not the whole piece by any means. Waiting with bated breath. We go in. Booze. Sharpen my instrument. Oh. I don't know if anybody's listening or not. What's going on out there in the phantom zone? Basically, my brain's popping back and forth between anatomy, structure, and lighting and bounce lighting and colored fills. You know, so like this structure is, you know, I was kind of giving my anatomy teacher a hard time. This is basically the way the tricep goes underneath the deltoid, attaches to the infraspinatus of the scapula right there. This is structure of the what's called teres major, which is actually underneath the latissimus dorsi, wraps around it. Latissimus wraps. It's a complex curve, goes around the back, up and under, attaches to the back side of the humerus, upper arm. So to define the teres is actually just to define the way it changes the shape of the lat. Have returned for a return of the Nahungus. We go in. What I like about the way the lat actually attaches is that it's not clean. People like Hogarth are always trying to make everything clean. And this is some messy shit when you get in there. It's just all interconnected sinew. So it's just interlaced with all of these ribs. So it's more like a spider web in there of interconnected shit. Not clean at all. This is an interesting experience. I haven't actually spent this much time rendering muscles from imagination in a couple of decades. I've modeled them in 3D. I haven't invested in doing exactly this in quite a while. Some red. I need red. Feeling another goddamn art store run coming. Alright. Sakaido. Jesus. Yeah. Yeah, what's going on over there? Sure, the leaves along the river are lovely. Wow, Jesus, is that hot? Yeah, it's actually kind of gotten. It was hot here. It generally gets as hot here as it does there, but I think the fall breaks sooner. Like the mornings are cool, the afternoons are kind of warm. Definitely not what you're describing. I think we're at the same. Jesus Christ, what is that? Latitude? Yeah, now we're definitely in the like zone where I could zone out for fucking ever and do this. Just sit here and render and render and render, which is normally not what I do. Like you guys have seen, I'm usually more into the getting all spasmatic and gestural. I think it's fun to do both, to be able to do both, even in the same piece. Like we're definitely gonna get nasty at some point with this thing too. We're gonna get in there. We're gonna start splishty splash and get ugly and gnarly here too. All right. Should we call it a night, everybody? Reconvene tomorrow and continue to see where our pit fighter takes us. Appreciate everyone who showed up, because that's awesome. Because you're fucking awesome for showing up. Although I could just I'm in the zone. I could just sit here and do this shit. I could sit here and do this shit until goddamn dawn, because I'm in that zone. But I will have a mercy squeeze, mercy flush, and I will give you my salutations, and we will continue tomorrow. Good night, everybody.